Hello friends, today we discuss about the earthquake engineering. I, Professor Mrunal Santosh Ugle from Kekiwa College Institute of Engineering, Education and Research, Nasik. So today's our discussion topic is static analysis of earthquake forces. So in that topic, we discuss about the introduction of IS 1893 Part 1 and estimation of the seismic forces. In that we have to discuss one numerical. In that we will get the idea about how to analyze the seismic forces for the multi-story building. So let us start with the first part, which is the introduction to IS 1893 Part 1. So in that we discuss 2 points, general principle, and second is the assumptions considered while design of the structure. So in that principle, in case of ground motion, the characteristics, that is intensity or the duration of seismic ground vibrations expected at any location depends upon the magnitude of earthquake, its depth of focus, distance from the epicenter, characteristics of the path through which the seismic waves travel, and the soil strata on the structure stands. The random earthquake ground motion which causes the structure to vibrate can be resolved in any three mutually perpendicular directions. The predominant direction of the ground vibration is horizontal. Earthquake generated vertical inertia force are to be considered in the design unless checked and proved to be not significant. Vertical acceleration should be considered in structure with large spans, those in which stability is creation for the design or for overall stability analysis of the structure. The response of the structure to ground vibration is a function of nature of foundation, soil material, form, size, and mode of the construction of the structure, and the duration and characteristics of ground motion. This standard specifies design forces for the structure standing on the rocks or the soil which do not settle, liquefy, or slide due to loss of strength during the vibration. So these are the some principle which is considered at the time of design of any multi-story structure. So in that case, some principle also we have to consider while designing the any structure. So in that, the first assumption is there, which is earthquake causes impulsive ground motion which are complex and irregular in character, changing in period and amplitude, each lasting for a small duration. Therefore, response of the type of visualization under the steady state simultaneously excited will not occur, as it would need time to build up such amplitudes. Then second assumption is there, which second principle is there, which is earthquake is not likely to occur simultaneously with maximum wind or maximum flood or the maximum sea waves. Then third assumption is there, the value of elastic modules of the material where whenever required may be taken as for static analysis unless a more definite value is available for the use of such condition. So these are the assumption which is considered while designing any type of structure. So let us start with the one numerical based on this IS 1893 Part 1 2016. So this is the first numerical which is considered the plan and elevation of three-story reinforced concrete school building located in Pune as shown in figure. The building consists of OMRF and rests on the hard soil. The total seismic load on the frame is 4438.34 kilonewton. Estimate the seismic forces at each floor level. So here one plan and one elevation view is given. With the help of this dimension, we have to analyze this building, RC school building, which is located in Pune, with the help of this IS 1893. So let us start with the solution. So in this given numerical, the some given data is there, which is the type of structure, which is RC school building is there, then location Pune is there. This school building is rest on the hard soil, and the total seismic load is given, which is equal to 4438.34 kilonewton. So with the help of this given data, we have to analyze this building. So let us start with the first step, which is calculation of approximate fundamental translational natural period. So according to the IS 1893 part 1 2016 clause number 7.62, here one formula is given, which is equal to TA is equal to 0.09 h divided by under root of d. Here we have to calculate the value where h is equal to height of building in meter, d is equal to base dimension of the building. So according to this given data, here x direction and y direction we have to consider. So d is equal to, in x direction, which is equal to 12.8 meter, and in case of y direction it is 9 meter. So we have to consider this dimension, and after that we have to calculate this value, which is equal to 0.3325 in the x direction and 0.384 in the y direction. So step number 2, calculation of spectral acceleration coefficient. So this spectral acceleration coefficient is denoted by SA upon G. With the help of this figure, which is given in IS 1893 part 1 2016 and the clause number 6.4.2, here it is given in the numerical, this building is raised on the hard strata. So according to that, we have to assume the 5% damping. So with the help of this assume 5% damping, and the building is raised on the hard soil, and according to this given figure, so in this figure it is the spectral for the equivalent static method. So according to that, here natural period is given, and here the spectral acceleration coefficient is there. So according to this, here the three types of rocks are there, types of soil is there. According to our location, the type 1 is there, which is rock or the hard soil is there. So according to that, we have to consider this curve. So according to that, we have to calculate the SA upon G. See here, in the x direction, SA upon G is equal to 2.5, and in the y direction also SA upon G is equal to 2.5. So according to these two dimension, so here in between this 0 to 1, these values are there. So according to that, we will get the SA upon G, means the spectral acceleration coefficient is equal to 2.5 is in x direction and y direction. Then step number 3, we have to calculate the zone factor. So the building is located in at Pune. So according to the IS 1893 part 1 2016 and annex 6, the value of this zone factor is equal to 0.16. Then next step, we have to calculate the response reduction factor. So the OMRF is given. So according to that, the IS 1893 part 1 2016 table number 9, the value of response reduction factor which is equal to 3. Then next step is there, step number 5, importance factor. So this building is school type of building is there. So according to that, from the table number 8, which is in the IS 1893 part 1, the value of importance factor which is equal to 1.5. So according to this given data, we will get the value of Z, R and I. So with the help of this, here we have to calculate the horizontal seismic coefficient, which is AH. So according to the IS 1893 part 1 2016 clause number 6.4.2, here one formula is there, which is for the horizontal seismic coefficient. So here in bracket Z upon 2 into SA upon G divided by R upon I. So according to previous steps, here the value of Z, value of R, value of I and the SA upon G is we already calculated. So put this value in the x direction and in the y direction. Both direction are same. So according to that, you will get the horizontal seismic coefficient, which is 0.1. So this is this coefficient is most important. So according to that, we have to calculate the design lateral force. Then total load is given in numerical, which is 4438.34 kilonewton. So according to that, we have to calculate the design lateral force. So here the total load into this horizontal seismic coefficient, you will get the total design lateral force, which is equal to 443.834 kilonewton. So this is the school building, which is divided into the 4 story. So according to that, we have to, this is the total load, and we have to convert it into the means divide by 4. So on each floor you will get the 4438.34 divided by 4, which is equal to 1109.585 kilonewton on each floor of the on each floor. This is the load is there. So according to that, we have to calculate these some figures. This is step number 7, lateral force calculation. So this is the one table. With the help of that, we have to calculate the total lateral forces. So in that table, floor, Wi, Hi, Wi into Hi square, and this is the one coefficient is there, and with the help of that we have to calculate the lateral forces. So floor number 4, floor number 3, floor number 2, floor number 1, we have to come from this direction, 4, 3, 2, 1, like that we have to calculate the forces. So here on each floor the lateral load is constant, which is equal to 1109.585 kilonewton. So the same value you have to write down here. Then Hi is different from the ground. So in the given numerical, the Hi is different, means we have to consider the baseline as a ground. So according to that, for first floor the distance is 3.2, for second floor it is 6.4, for third floor it is 9.6, and for the fourth floor it is 12.6. So according to that, we have to consider the height of the building. So according to that, put the value 12.8, 9.6, 6.4 and 3.2, which is in meter, and these are in kilometer. So according to this, we have to multiply these two magnitudes. You will get for the fourth floor, third floor, second floor and the first floor. We have to do the summation of all these 4 forces. So you will get 340.86 into 10 raised to 3. Then here we have to calculate the one ratio, which is Wi into Hi square divided by summation of Wi into Hi square. So according to that, you will get these values. Then also here we have to do the sum, which is always equal to 1, which is approximately equal to 1. This is the cross check of this number. Then here we have to calculate the lateral forces. So how to calculate the lateral forces? For that, this 0.533 into this into 443.835 into 0.533, you will get this value. Similarly, we have to multiply the this lateral force 443.835 for each this value. You will get the total lateral force in x and y direction. Here also we have to do the sum, which is also equal to 443.379. So this is the cross check. So with the help of this lateral force calculation, we have to draw the diagram. In that we show the x direction forces and the y direction forces on each floor, means fourth floor, third floor, second floor and the first floor. This is in the y direction and this is along the x direction. So this is the final step of this analysis. I hope all of you understand the basic concept of the analysis of these seismic forces and the introduction of IS 1893 part 1. Thank you.